or come back to haunt them. And after the game on Classic, don't miss Russell Athletic ESPN Arena Football Monday, live tonight on ESPN2.
From Thunderdome in St. Petersburg, Florida, the Arena Game of the Week features semifinal playoff action on the road to the title. The last two champions of the Arena Football League do battle tonight as the Arizona Rattlers take on the Tampa Bay Storm. And this is how they arrived here. Tampa Bay, in an uncharacteristic defensive struggle, defeated the Anaheim Piranhas by 14 points, whereas the Arizona Rattlers outshot the Orlando Predators 65-48. There he is, the winningest coach in Arena history. 6th straight playoff appearance, as you see, 5th semifinal in 6 years. Tim Markham. You can see the home record versus the road record. A note to say here with regards to Danny White, the head coach of the Arizona Rattlers. Against Tim Markham coach teams, he is 0-4.
Little pressure on Danny White coming in, going up against Tim Markham, who is really the dean of Arena football. Has been a head coach 7 years, has been the winningest coach in Arena football, and Danny White and the Rattlers are going to have to get it done tonight on the road.
Arizona won the toss and opted to defer, so Tampa Bay will get the first kickoff, and that means George LaFrance. Weir's kick is a little bit short, so LaFrance has some momentum cutting up the field, but he is absolutely hammered down. Good stick on the part of Tony Henderson. A 12-yard return, but still only out to about the 4.5-yard line.
Jay Gruden's numbers last week, not extraordinary. 18 of 35. He did go over 200 yards, had 2 interceptions and 1 interception. Really, the defense won the game last week for Tampa Bay. Jay Gruden feels really at ease and really comfortable with a great deal of pressure, and that's something that Danny White has emphasized, getting pressure on Jay Gruden tonight.
1st and 10 for the Storm. No motion, 3-step drop, gets the ball out on the flat to Lonnie Turner, and he's hammered out at about the 11-yard line. Tackle made by Hunky Cooper.
Todd, the weapons that Jay Gruden has tonight, he has a good offensive line that they feel very, very good and very confident about tonight. The wide receivers, you see LaFrance and Stevie Thomas, Turner, all three are explosive, and a great deal of experience with LaFrance and Stevie Thomas. Really his two go-to guys.
2nd and about 5, right at the 10-yard line. Turner in motion right. Gruden with good protection, underthrown ball. Now, right there, the pass that you just saw is indicative of what Coach Markham has said regarding Jay Gruden. Sometimes he looks absolutely atrocious. Plenty of time, he threw a quail.
Well, and that's going to happen, especially early in the game. Quarterback trying to get his feet on the ground, just get comfortable, trying to hit a flag route there early with his experience. I'm sure Coach Tim Markham would expect to see him be able to hit that.
The defensive set for the Arizona Rattlers.
Well, Brian Easter has really been a surprise at the MAC linebacker, filling in for Bo Kelly. We'll see both of them, but really the secondary, there's the pressure for Arizona tonight.
3rd down play with Stevie Thomas in high motion, and he gets the first down out to about the 19-yard line. Milton Vaughn on the stop.
Now, what's something interesting to me is that Stevie Thomas, Danny White in Arizona, they feel that they can get up in his face and bump him, bump coverage, and he has a hard time, even though he's a big man, a hard time getting off the ball. Here he's going to use motion, even with the tight coverage. He's going to shake and actually show that he's going to go deep, comes underneath and has enough room for the first down.
6'2", 203-pounder, outstanding season, 1,000-yard season. Thomas in motion again. He gets bumped, zone coverage, but that enables Lonnie Turner to sit down, and despite the shot that he takes from Gatewood, he has the first down at the 16-yard line.
Well, that's something that Arizona, they're going to try and take away Stevie Thomas and George LaFrance, and it's really going to leave it up to Turner to have a big night. Gruden originally looking at Thomas, and he does a nice job coming off Stevie Thomas and looking at Turner. Here comes a boom, Randy Gatewood with a nice shot. Turner did a good job of holding on to the football.
5'8", 180-pounder. LaFrance in motion left. Flag goes down in the secondary. LaFrance on the corner route is in for the touchdown. "16 yards and a touchdown for LaFrance. We'll see if it stands.
Illegal formation, defensive end 2 wide.
Decline. Touchdown. Defensive formation penalty where the linebacker was out a little bit too wide. It doesn't matter. And Gruden to LaFrance, something that you've heard 1,000 times before.
They're bringing a blitz with Easter, and a good job of holding out the pressure. Gruden threw this football before LaFrance even looked. He turns over his shoulder. The ball is placed right over his shoulder for 6.
A good job on the part of George LaFrance knowing where he was in the end zone, getting his feet down quickly. George Simadevia on for the extra point, and he is wide to the right, pushes it with the slice. And so Tampa strikes first despite the missed extra point. They're up 6-0 over the Rattlers.
Welcome to Davis. Can I help you, sir?
I wanna rock!
I'll take this one.
Turn the power up. I'm waiting for so long so I can hear my favorite song, so let's go!
Davis gives you free music downloads on iTunes, so you can rock every time you roll.
Thanks for letting me borrow your sweater.
Boo, large-headed friend. Red beer! Drink responsibly.
At Shell, we're constantly testing to prove there is a difference in gasolines. While low-quality discount gas can allow gunk to build up in your engine, Shell gasoline stops gunky buildup to help your car perform at its best.
We know what men like. New Mitchum Smart Solid. Powerful protection, unbeatable against white residue. Wow, let's see that again. For powerful, all-day protection that doesn't come off on your shirt, be a smart Mitchum man.
Houston, we are on final approach to the easiest place in the universe to book a room. Touchdown. The Bodad has landed. Motel6.com. We'll leave the light on for you.
Thunderdome in St. Petersburg, Florida. That man, Jay Gruden, with a 16-yard toss to Stevie Thomas, draws first blood for the Tampa Bay Storm, defending Arena Bowl champions. Simadevia here with the kick. And Hunky Cooper back will play it off the left screen, makes a clean catch. Gets some good blocking out to the 15-yard line. And Kirk, you have to admit, he does look a little bit sluggish. That was some great blocking. I think that maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, he might have gone the distance.
Yeah, we watched him in warm-ups. Looked a little tight. We'll check him out as the game continues. Cedric Bonner is really a fine quarterback tonight that you're going to have a chance to look at. Last week, he continues to play well. 22 of 33, over 200 yards, and 2 interceptions. And the key, no interceptions. And the most important stat to keep in mind, he does not get sacked. That offensive line does a nice job of protecting him.
Excellent field position just inside the 15-yard line. Bonner with a 3-step drop gets the ball out to Gatewood, who almost breaks the tackle, gets across the 25-yard line, and I believe he'll have the first down.
He has 3 wide receivers, and this year, the Arizona Rattlers have kind of set the standard. They have the only 3 players of all time to have at least 15 touchdowns. Randy Gatewood, Calvin Schexnayder, and Hunky Cooper. And the offensive line, as I mentioned, really a strength for Arizona tonight.
They give him the first down right out midfield. Schexnayder in motion right. Bonner with a 1-step drop, gets the ball to Schexnayder on the crossing route. Almost breaks another tackle, and boy, I tell you what, they just can't get him down. And a flag is going to go down. Cedric McKinnon with a completely unnecessary hit with a whistle blowing, and Schexnayder out of bounds.
He's already out of bounds, 5 yards, and Schexnayder kept going. The whistle had already blown. McKinnon kept hitting on it.
Some of these smart offensive players will do that. We saw it last week. They'll bait the defensive players by keep running even though they know the play is dead.
9 times out of 10, it's going to go on the guy that makes the second hit.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit 42, half the distance, automatic first down.
Here they get Cedric McKinnon. One thing, when McKinnon comes on the blitz, he's going to free a void in the zone. And there they do a nice job of getting to Calvin Schexnayder, who tries to shake a tackle. Now you have 2 guys. He's out of bounds at this point. He's already, the play is dead. Here comes one player, Bembry coming in, McKinnon coming in. Bembry, Wells, and Rowland is getting back to his more comfortable position at defensive end because of Cedric McKinnon coming back to the MAC linebacker.
Schexnayder in motion right. The pitch is to Kelly, who gets some great blocking, and he is in for the touchdown. We talked about the fact that Tampa Bay won in a defensive struggle last week. It's almost as if the Rattlers on this particular drive, Kirk, were going against air.
Well, Bo Kelly knows what to do with the football when he gets a chance to get his hands on it. He has 15 regular season touchdowns rushing, so when he comes on this sweep, look at him seal it. Hunky Cooper, even with the banged up feet, does a good job. Then Kelly just gets right around Sanders. Watch him seal. That's really the key, is the way Cooper and then Schexnayder gets in there. They seal Johnny Harris, and there's no one outside to stop it once he avoided Tracy Sanders.
Not exactly what you'd call intensive defensive pursuit. Bonner on to hold for the extra point, and Weir puts it through. And so Arizona answers back, but they make their conversion. So they're up 1 on Tampa Bay.
Nitro, Zach, Gemini, the American Gladiators ready for battle versus the Challengers fighting for victory.
What a competitor!
Two powerful forces clash in contests of strength and agility.
Oh, look at that!
Only the strongest survives. The legendary American Gladiators. Weeknights 7 Eastern, 10 Pacific, and weekend mornings at 9 on ESPN Classic.
I got Verizon high-speed internet. Now I post images of my art to share with people all over the world.
I won my classic longboard from an online auction.
My family's safer online with Verizon security features.
Spread the word. Millions of people are doing more online with Verizon high-speed internet.
Installing it was simple. Now I track storms from home before I set sail.
I run a website for my league.
And you can do more of what you love online for a great low price. No wonder more people are choosing Verizon for high-speed internet. Just call 1-866-545-9322. That's 1-866-545-9322 to sign up today. Pass it on.
I love video chatting with my new boyfriend, who I met online.
Check it. I buy and download my tunes faster, so I always have the latest beats. Hey, chill. You'll get it.
Phone, broadband, TV, wireless. Verizon.
Certainly it's early in the game, but Coach Tim Markham has to be a little bit concerned with how ineffective his defense was during that first drive. It was as if they were just completely non-existent.
Well, considering the way they played last week, boy, you hate to come out in that first drive and give up a quick score like that. Just 3 plays, 35 yards, and a 6-yard sweep to Bo Kelly. Take a good look at Bo right there covering kicks.
Here's Weir's kick, and it's going to be very, very short. Backing up his Turner to make the catch at about the 3-yard line. Makes a bad decision of getting away from his friends and only gets out to about the 8-yard line. So what does Jake Gruden have to say?
Right zebra, 52 stack, wing post. On 2, ready?
Well, they're going to try and go to the wing post here. And one thing he has been able to already, he's 4 or 5. He's hit 3 different receivers. And here, let's see if he can find Stevie Thomas.
Stevie Thomas gets chopped. Gruden has to scramble out, throws across his body, and the interception is made. Milton Vaughn makes it. He was not touched. He's going to be out of bounds. A bad decision on the part of Gruden turns into a huge turnover for the Arizona Rattlers.
I'll tell you what, Todd, we talked about it prior to the game. Stevie Thomas, George LaFrance are really the 2 go-to guys. They mentioned Arizona feels confident that they can get up into the face of Stevie Thomas. Gruden has to avoid pressure, comes off to the right. Now he throws against his body, and the whole reason this play was able to come to fruition is because of the job that the defensive back did up on Stevie Thomas's face. Throws all the way against the body. Vaughn steps up, says, boy, this game's easy, and has a presence of mind to pick it up and almost gets into the end zone.
Milton Vaughn, the team's leading tackler during the season with 81, now his 5th hit of the season. Calvin Schexnayder in motion left. Here's the pitch to Bo Kelly. Once again, the blocking is outstanding, and from here, he doesn't quite get in. The blocking wasn't quite as good, but once again, the pursuit by the Storm is just awful.
Yeah, I'm wondering where these people are on the outside. I mean, this is a very simple play drawn up. McKinnon coming, he's trying to come to the outside. Cooper gets a shoulder on him. Schexnayder gets Harris. Now he's already to the outside again, and really, it's left to Perkins to make the play.
Let's go. Blacks left, X loop. Dive 22 on 101. Ready?
They're going to go to the big guy on a dive. See if he can get his second touchdown of the night.
Why not?
Might as well.
There it is. Schexnayder on the loop motion right. There's the ball to Kelly, but he is stuffed by his counterpart, Cedric McKinnon. Still, I have to say here, if I'm Danny White, I want to do the same thing because I want to establish early some physicality.
Well, Cedric McKinnon has come back, Todd, for Tampa Bay last week in the playoff game after missing the last 5 regular season games. And Cedric McKinnon is showing you how physical he can play. The knee is healthy, and I agree with you. I think you come back. Bo Kelly's had 3 carries tonight, has already done a good job of finding a hole. And tonight, I think on this play right here, you got to go back to the big guy.
That graphic on your monitor, very impressive. Those of you that follow arena football, 16 points, 123 yards. And flags are going to go down. And that's going to be an awful mistake on the part of Arizona if it's against them in motion. You saw Johnny Harris come in and try and spike the ball from the quarterback and try and get him to throw a punch or get involved in something. Bonner was cool. Wes Fritz, our referee this evening.
Before the snap, false start, 77 offense. Repeat, it's 3rd down.
That's Zach Ricks, and that's the kind that age coaches. Down on the 1-yard line.
Well, I think it was a simple case where the center forgot the snap count. Everybody else had moved. The ball didn't come up.
Crucial call here. Up Trey. Left trips. Pitch 28 tag. Let's go. First down. First down. Ready? 6:28 backs. It appears they're not going to run the ball. They're going to see if they can get some sort of pick rob here on the right side. Instead, they do pitch. He must have audibled out. Cooper on the sweep is stuffed by McKinnon. And I certainly have to question that call out to where they were, and particularly in light of the fact that Cooper with the 2 hurt feet.
Well, Cedric McKinnon did a good job of just shooting through the A gap and getting really the leverage. Watch him come to the outside here. He cheated out in almost a low defense and comes to the outside. There's nobody there. Really, Tampa Bay gave Arizona a different look, and I don't think they were prepared for it. I don't think they were ready to. They didn't know who to block. Calvin Schexnayder didn't know who to go after.
And in having Hunky Cooper back to run, they took away one of their best blockers. The flag goes down, so this kick will not count regardless. It appears that they did not get the ball off in time.
Before the snap, delay of game offense, 3-yard penalty.
And Danny White has to be concerned of the poise of this particular team. Now remember, the last time they played the Tampa Bay Storm here, they ran 2 fake field goals. One of them was successful, one was not. So curious to see here what Danny White's going to do. I would guess, though, given the circumstance here, he's going to kick, right?
Yeah, up 7-6 early in this game. Just a good chance to go up by 4 points, which is obviously you need a touchdown at this point. I think he's thinking long term rather than short term.
27-yard attempt by Weir. And it's good.
Maybe that delay of game helped him. Maybe a practice shot, the second one works.
Evidently, but that man has to be happy right now because the defense really asserted itself there on the 1-yard line. Arizona comes away with a field goal, but they can't be too happy about it.
When you take it off, you're gonna like what you see.
Scotch Blue Painter's Tapes.
Yeah, when you take it off, you're gonna like what you see.
Goes on easy, comes off clean, leaving professional paint lines.
Looking good, you got to agree.
Scotch Blue Painter's Tapes for delicate or multi-surfaces.
Go on, take it off. Take.
Hello, welcome to Jiffy Lube. We're running a fantastic buy one, get one free special that I know you're going to love. For limited time, buy 1 Jiffy Lube signature service oil change featuring Pennzoil motor oil, and the next one's free. You pay nothing, zip nada. That's a premium oil and filter change, tire pressure check, car interior vacuum. Shucks will even clean your exterior window. That's our 17-point service for free when you buy 1 signature service featuring Pennzoil. Again, buy 1, get 1 free. How's that sound? Oh, you got talent.
Stop in for your buy 1, get 1 free signature service featuring Pennzoil.
No regrets. No regrets. It's been good to me. Take care of it, it'll be good to you.
Yeah, I hear you, Dad.
Like we said,
That one's yours.
From generation to generation, nothing runs like a deer.
ESPN Classics non-heavyweight boxing marathon, Saturday at 1 Eastern.
You might not say an opportunity wasted, but you would have to say, Kirk, that close to the goal line, coming away with a field goal, the brass, the cognoscenti, as it were, of the Rattlers can't be terribly happy about it.
Well, obviously, Danny White, after coming up with a big turnover by Vaughn, would have loved to see his team go up with 2 quick scores, but at this point, you're going to have to really settle for the field goal.
Knuckleball by Weir. Caught on the fly by LaFrance, so they're going to have some excellent field position regardless of where. And there he is, out to the 18-yard line.
Important here for Jay Gruden to rebound from that horrible pass on the previous possession. Let's see how he does.
George LaFrance comes in motion right. Gruden rolls right, plenty of time, goes for LaFrance. Vaughn is on him. They say no. They say no in terms of the ball. And Gruden took a shot, and he is down. Good call, I thought, by the official. The feet just got tangled up.
Yeah, good coverage by Vaughn. One thing that I'm very, very impressed early in this game by Arizona is the pressure they're getting on Jay Gruden. Combine that with the multiple coverage they're showing Gruden and the receivers. They're not just sitting in a zone. They're not just sitting in man-to-man coverage. They're making it very difficult on that man right there, Jay Gruden. Here comes, you're going to see Spencer coming on the blitz. He gets to the outside, and after the ball is thrown, Zach Ricks lays a hammer right onto Jay Gruden.
LaFrance in motion on 2nd and 10. Gruden with a 3-step drop gets the ball out to Stevie Thomas, who is going to have very close, if not the first down. Gets into a little bit with Henry Milton. It appears to me, at least from our vantage point, that there's a lot of yapping going on.
Yeah, you see that a lot in this league. And anytime you get to the Final Four of arena football, you're going to find a lot of players and very competitive, and they want to obviously get to the Arena Bowl. Arena Bowl 10 coming up next week, so players are hungry right now. They're trying to set the tone for who's really playing better football tonight.
Stevie Thomas did get the first down, so it's first down at about the 22-yard line. Gruden back on the fade route to Stevie Thomas, but he can't get there. Good coverage on the part of Steve Douglas. Point that you had made earlier, they're really trying to beat up Stevie Thomas.
Stevie Thomas is going to have to get used to this tonight. Arizona has made it very clear that they're going to get up into his face and really make him earn anything. Now, at the same time, when you do that, because Thomas has speed with his size, he has the ability to get out to the outside. He's caught 2 balls tonight for 20 yards, but you have to credit number 25, who's done a good job, and that's Steve Douglas of filling in for Richard Holt. He's getting up in the face of Stevie Thomas so far early in this game.
Go! 2nd and 10. Worthman in motion. Gruden throwing off his back foot, and once again, bad throw. That one easily could have been picked off.
Again, I'm going to have to credit Arizona's defense. It's the game plan that Arizona has come in with this game, that they are not sitting on just one coverage. It makes it very difficult early in a game for Tampa Bay before the adjustments are made. You can see there's a little confusion. They can point all they want to interference. It's flat-out confusion right now on the part of Tampa Bay. And it's typical, because early in the game, you haven't quite made the adjustments, still getting a feel for the defense on both sides of the ball.
Gruden, one of his last 5 now, including an interception, comes up now on 3rd and 10. Worthman in the high motion. Once again, pressure on Gruden. Throws across to Stevie Thomas for the touchdown. 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. It appeared that at the last minute, Larry Boyd would get the sack. But instead, Gruden steps up and delivers the 21-yard strike to Stevie Thomas.
That's one thing, as I mentioned, you have to be careful of with Arizona coming with the blitz time after time. If Gruden has time, he will find Stevie Thomas, who can get behind Douglas. Douglas, again, good coverage. That ball is just perfectly thrown. There's nothing you can do about that.
Stevie Thomas, 3 catches for 41 yards and a touchdown. Coach Tim Markham made the point regarding Gruden that he throws from some awkward angles. He reminds me a little bit of Bernie Kosar in his ability to throw sidearm, 3-quarters, whatever.
Whatever it takes.
Sima Devia puts this extra point through. And as we take another look at the touchdown, you can see that Gruden is resourceful, if anything else, stepping up to avoid the rush.
build every Cub Cadet with the moves to work faster and the strength to work harder, so you can finally win back your weekend.
Want a 4-star hotel at a 2-star price? Go to Hotwire.com. When 3- and 4-star hotels have unsold rooms, they use Hotwire to fill them, so you get them at prices lower than any other travel site, guaranteed. Like 4 stars in San Francisco, Travelocity price $219, Hotwire price just $102. Why risk paying more when Hotwire gets you unsold rooms at deep discounts? Hotwire.com. 4-star hotels, 2-star prices.
HOTWIRE, Hotwire.com.
Save big on car rentals, too, from $13.95 a day.
Need cash? Borrow up to 125% of your home's value with a fixed-rate Freedom Loan from Ditech. It's a great way to free up your equity and get the cash you need for anything you choose. Put money in your pocket, make home improvements, or pay off your high-interest credit cards and lower your monthly payments by hundreds of dollars. With Ditech, you can feel confident that you're being taken care of every step of the way. Call 1-800-71-FIXED or log on to Ditech.com, a GMAC company.
Todd Christensen along with Kirk Herbstreit here in Thunderdome as Tampa Bay leads the Arizona Rattlers by a 3-spot. 3rd down coming up for the Arizona Rattlers.
One thing that's been surprising, Hunky Cooper to this point has not caught a ball.
Liz 10, wing look. All right, on one-on-one, ready? Right foot. Liz.
Wing look would seem to imply some sort of option route, wouldn't it?
Could be. Big play here.
3rd and 2, Cooper in motion. Come up in bunt coverage, and Cooper's got him deep. Fighting him off, tries to make the catch, a flag goes down, but my guess is that this is going to be offensive pass interference against Cooper on Tracy Perkins.
Boy, both guys fighting for the ball. This is one of those that could go either way. Cooper, we'll see it in the replay, Cooper may have pushed on the back of Perkins. That's what they're going to go with.
One thing you could definitely see there with regards to Cooper is that even though he's playing in this game, he's struggling. His foot speed is not what it used to be.
Well, the quickness is not there, and we've seen it all night long. Bonner still looking to go to him on 3rd and short. That's really when Arizona likes to strike deep. Good position by Perkins, and Cooper trying to come over to fight for the football. Used his hands to push off on his back.
So the penalty not only moves them back, of course, but it is a loss of down. One thing I don't understand in that case is it's almost automatic. It's almost automatic. You can see Danny White discussing it with Wes Fritz. But offensive interference, I do believe, is a loss of down.
Unlock. We're kicking it. We're offense. We're kicking or offense? Yeah, we're kicking. Let's kick it. Let's go. Calvin, we're kicking. Trace.
They were actually discussing there for a second as to whether or not they might go for it. That would have been a huge surprise.
Very dangerous here. If the field goal is missed, you have George LaFrance waiting in the back. We'll have plenty of room with this long field goal.
Clock is running down. They better hurry and get the snap off on this 53-yard attempt. It's going to be short and out to the right, and LaFrance is going to have some room. And he's going to go out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. And so the Tampa Bay defense asserts itself with a big stop.
Yeah, big stop. And right now, Jay Gruden getting back out there. We're going to continue to see some tight coverage and mixed coverages. Now is when you'll begin to see Tampa Bay make the adjustments. And they should feel a little bit more at ease, a little more comfortable with their offensive scheme tonight.
Jay Gruden only 6 for 11, but as winners always do, 2 huge throws. And that's why they're ahead. Turner in motion right. Pitch to McKinnon. First running play of the game for Tampa Bay. And he scoots forward out to just short of the 15-yard line, so he'll pick up about 4. I'm surprised at this point that they hadn't used that earlier, because Markham had stressed the fact that this team is much better with McKinnon back there at fullback.
Yeah, plus the man coverage on the outside, you may see a little bit more of that. One thing to me that I think Tampa Bay, last week they did not run the football particularly well. Tonight with Cedric McKinnon back, feeling good, even though he's back last week, now he has a game under his belt. I would think they're going to be able to run the football a little bit better tonight.
Second down, Gruden with plenty of time. The deep ball wide open. Oh, what a play by he was beaten. It looked like an easy touchdown for Turner, but he shows a burst of speed, lays out, bats it down.
You know, each time we have Arizona, I love Randy Gatewood. He is really has stepped up big time on both sides of the football this year. He's in man-to-man coverage on Turner. Turner's going to give him a stem to the outside and goes to the post. At this point, he has him beaten, but Randy Gatewood has good closing speed for a big man. Goes up, just gets a hand on it to bat it away from Lonnie Turner. Randy Gatewood, you'll see him a lot tonight on both sides of the football, putting up some numbers.
Turner in high motion left on 3rd and 6. Gruden with a lot of time, throws underneath. It's picked off. You mentioned him. He's your guy. That's his 7th of the season. Randy Gatewood, certainly one of the people who's got to be in contention for Iron Man of the Year.
Yeah, there's no question that this man, with Barry Wagner's injury, and you look around the league, Randy Gatewood deserves as much consideration as anybody you can find. Now he's manned up with George LaFrance. LaFrance is going to take it deep, comes back, the ball's underthrown, and look at Randy Gatewood, recognize that. That's tough to do. That's a guy that has football savvy on the offensive side, that has learned to cover people on the defensive side.
I'm not trying to make a play on words, but underthrown is an understatement. That was an absolutely horrible throw.
Yeah, it looked like maybe almost a fake comeback where it's designed to look like you're going deep and you throw it back at the backside shoulder, but a little miscommunication there on the part of Gruden and LaFrance.
Second interception for Gruden. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. They've got the screen in the middle set up. They get the ball to Ash. He's jumping over people, and nobody wants a piece of him. No one wants to tackle him in the open field.
Those are some big bodies coming down on that convoy. Coming down the field.
6'4", 255.
Wow, this is perfectly designed. The middle screen to the tight end. Now look at Lance Johnson. You also have Tony Henderson, some big bodies leading him downfield. The receivers helping to block. None of these defensive backs want to get in the way. And finally, Tracy Perkins just saying, he's going down.
Okay, I think I'll get in the way and hopefully trip him up.
Richard Ash feeling very comfortable with the football in his hands.
3 touchdown receptions on the season for Ash from the tight end position. 1st and 10 now for Arizona at the 12-yard line. Schexnayder in motion right. Bonner with time gets the ball across to Gatewood, who will get the 1st down. Won't quite get into the end zone. Tracy Sanders on the coverage.
Simple man-to-man coverage, crossing route. Blitz coming with McKinnon. Bo Kelly responsible for picking that up. The key to the play is look at the time and look at the zone that Cedric Bonner had to throw in. Makes it very, very easy on a quarterback. Now they're inside the 1-yard line. Now it's tough. Tough play calling in arena football once you get inside the 5.
Give Bo Kelly the ball up the middle 4 times and see if you punch it in, and if you can't, you don't deserve it. Maybe that's old school, but you're an Ohio State guy, 3 yards and 5. You understand that?
Back in the 60s, I could buy that.
There he goes, 1st time, and it doesn't happen. They undercut the lineman. Of course, the flip side of that is if they went with the bootleg here and faked it, probably Bonner could walk in.
You see, the disadvantage in arena football is you have 3 linemen and you have 5 defenders inside that boxed area. It makes it very, very difficult to be able to run the football. It's not as the outdoor game. You can simply hand off to the fullback and get that yard.
Sylvester Bembry is the man who knifed under the blocking to stop Kelly. Now 2nd and goal at the 1. Schexnayder in motion right. Pitch to Kelly, who runs over the top of Cedric McKinnon and goes in, standing up for the touchdown. Not great blocking there. That was all Bo Kelly.
All Bo Kelly. Johnny Harris really trying to keep contained for Tampa Bay on the outside. As soon as the football is snapped, he shot upfield to try and keep Kelly outside to help really to take him back into Cedric McKinnon. Wow. McKinnon absolutely destroys Hunky Cooper, comes through Cooper and almost has a chance to make the play, but by the time he gets to him, you really have a fullback that's at full steam. Look at Schexnayder with Harris. Looks like a hold possibly with the right arm. And Harris didn't care for that as he took a little shot to the headgear after the play.
I'm sorry, you said possibly?
Yeah.
We're with the conversion, and once again, Arizona starts to assert themselves on the physical part of things. They're up by 4.
ESPN Classic is opening up the boxing vault. Now with rarely seen fights, featuring some of the biggest names in boxing. Classic Night at the Fights, 8 p.m. weeknights, only on ESPN Classic.
He continued challenge continues. Cornelius Canine Bundrake squares off with tough southpaw Colin McNeil in the final battle for national pride. The Contender Challenge, UK versus USA. The 6-part series concludes Tuesday at 9 on ESPN.
Your total is $835. Please drive through.
So, I get this thing from my college, and it says I have to come up with $11,000 for next year.
You mean your parents do?
Whatever. Me, my parents, it's the same thing. Man, what am I going to do?
That's nothing. I need like $16,000. And when you throw in room and board, books, a computer...
You both just need to think.
What?
Think. It's an easy student loan. Oh, come on. You haven't heard of Think Student Loan?
No.
You just call the number, and in about 15 minutes, you can apply for as much as $40,000 for school. The interest rates are competitive, lower than high-rate credit cards. Plus, the money is sent directly to you in as little as 5 business days. And you don't have to pay a cent until after you graduate. That's right. You pay nothing until 6 months after you graduate.
Nothing?
Nothing. Now drive through, and I'll give you the number to call.
To apply for a Think Student Loan, call 1-800-356-4028. That's 1-800-356-4028, or go to think28.com.
After 2 defensive stops, the Arizona Rattlers get it into the end zone. Bo Kelly with his second touchdown rush of the game. 4 plays, 35 yards, took up about 3 minutes. A little over 3 minutes, rather. Weir with the kick. It's going to be a little bit short. LaFrance is going to have a running start. Comes up the middle, and he is upended down at the 9-yard line by your guy, Randy Gatewood.
Tell you what's surprising to this point for Arizona, they have the lead, and really none of their offensive threats. You have Gatewood with 2 catches, Schexnayder a catch, Duncan 1, Ash 1. Cooper has not caught a ball, yet they're up at this point by 4 points. That's a scary thought for Tampa Bay.
Right zebra, 82. On 2, ready?
Now you talk about the confidence of Gruden that he has to get back. He is now 6 for 13, below 50%, and has thrown 2 interceptions. So he needs to get back in this ball game. This is not a game to where they are going to win solely on their defense. Stevie Thomas now in high motion. Throw the ball underneath to LaFrance, who is wide open in the zone. Hunky Cooper pushes him out at midfield, but that was certainly a defensive breakdown.
Well, we mentioned the adjustments that Tampa Bay was going to have to make. Both teams have to make, like in any football game. They're bumping up on Stevie Thomas. They've made that very clear in bringing Easter on the blitz. And look how far off Milton Vaughn is. He's almost 15 to 20 yards off, giving that big a cushion to George LaFrance. Tampa Bay going to the adjustments. They find a quick route to pick up a first down.
Well, in fairness to Vaughn, I don't think he had him in man coverage. I think that the linebacker at least had to be in the vicinity. In that case, it was Easter. He was on the blitz. 1st and 10 just inside midfield. Thomas once again. Same situation, same play to the other side of the field, but Antoine Worthman cannot hold on.
That's what they're going to go to. Because it's almost a combination coverage where you have Thomas getting the bump man coverage. The ball will be tipped by number 24. No, maybe, yeah, there was 24. Brian Easter got his hand on it, making it tough for Worthman to hold on to the football. But right now, Steve Douglas is manned up on one receiver, and it's been a lot of times Stevie Thomas. What Tampa Bay is doing is going, fine, if you're going to try and take away Stevie Thomas, we're going to go to the alternate routes.
And they'll also notice that Stevie Thomas is the one in motion now every single time. And there he is in motion again. 2nd and 10 just inside midfield. Throws the ball to Thomas, and he is hammered down by Douglas. Remember the movie of the wrestler called Vision Quest? You know, the wrestler that wanted so bad to win that state title? Steve Douglas looks like he's got that kind of mindset. It's a vision quest for him to deal with Stevie Thomas.
You know, it's surprising. We've probably had Arizona 4 times this year. Richard Holt has really been a guy that they felt confident in playing as a safety and as a corner man at 6'2", 210. But you got to hand it to Steve Douglas. He has stepped up when he has been given an opportunity. Tonight with this bump coverage on one of the best wide receivers in the game, Stevie Thomas.
2 of 3 on 3rd down. The last time, of course, was the interception. Now they come up 3rd and 10 just inside midfield.
Look at him bumped at the top of your screen.
LaFrance in motion this time. Gatewood has him man covered, but a flag goes down. And once again, I don't think they got the ball off. And truthfully, surprising to see Tampa Bay this far out of sync.
Yeah, really, you don't see this out of Tampa Bay, the mental mistakes.
Delay of game offense, 3-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
Tim Markham does, you know, when he coaches a football team, you don't see the delay of games. You don't see the silly mental errors. And I have to give Danny White and the Arizona defense a lot of credit for the coverage. This game in arena football is predominantly a passing game. Going in, you have to figure out how to slow down the opponent's passing game. And this first half so far, they've done a good job, as I said, mixing up coverages.
That was a hard look that you saw in the face of Coach Markham. 3rd and 13 now for the Storm. Try to get an offsides penalty, and they don't. He's able to avoid one sacker. In the case, Easter forces him out, but Tyler Young is able to pick up the garbage and sack him for about a 3-yard loss. And you're absolutely right. Arizona's asserting itself.
They're asserting themselves, and they really are getting to the point where Tampa Bay, I don't think they game plan expecting this kind of defense. I think they're completely caught off guard. They're bringing a couple different stunts up front. That time Easter was picked up, and Tyler Young finished it up.
This will be about a 46-yard attempt by George Simadevilla. The hold is down. It has the distance, and it's good. Sneaks in just inside the right upright. And once again, for those of you who don't watch it much, that's 9 feet wide and 15 feet high. 46-yard field goal. Nice kick.
Are all gasolines the same? At Shell, we're constantly testing to prove there is a difference. From in the lab to driving 5,000 miles on the open road. And while some interesting things happened during the testing, the results proved even more interesting. Low-quality discount gasolines can allow performance-robbing gunk to build up in your engine. Shell gasolines stop gunky buildup, helping your car perform at its best. Now that's a difference.
If you owe taxes or are facing an IRS lien or wage garnishment, here's important news for you. Now there's a new program that will immediately end wage garnishments, remove IRS liens, and eliminate IRS tax penalties. Call right now to enroll in the Rapid Relief Program from Advantage Tax Resolution and have your tax liabilities reduced by up to 90%.
Hi, I'm Corbin Burnson for Advantage Tax Resolution. You know, tax problems can strike at any time, even if you've done nothing wrong. Advantage Tax Resolution was founded to help people just like you resolve your tax problems permanently.
I'd never been able to take on the IRS myself, but I got help. I had my tax lien removed and my debt reduced 90%.
Call right now to enroll in the new Rapid Relief Tax Resolution Program.
It's the last call you'll need to make about your taxes.
There's no better time to remove wage garnishments or eliminate tax liens and penalties. Call 1-800-598-3960 right now.
George Simadevilla with a big 46-yard kick, which really salvaged a bad drive for the Tampa Bay Storm.
Yeah, they're lucky to get any points at all. Really, the big kick there. Now maybe that can help Tampa Bay to kind of regroup on the offensive side of the ball and try and come back and get some more points on the board when they get a chance.
Well, this ball goes out of bounds, and so it'll be a touchback.
Hey, we need to protect here, guys. Let's go right. X-bat. Rocket. 54 hook. Wide post. On one-on-one. Ready?
They're going to go to the wide post. Now here you're going to have a number of different receivers as an option, but see if Hunky Cooper can get into the mix here.
Schexnayder on the hook, and there's the post. A flag is going to be down. It appeared that Antoine Worthman hit Herb Duncan as the ball was being thrown.
Illegal chuck, number 30 defense, 3-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's what it was, Antoine Worthman.
Worthman coming in and really spotting at this point for Tracy Sanders, giving him a breather. One of his first plays coming in looked like a possibility of Schexnayder getting behind, and not only Schexnayder, but you can see him in the middle of your screen, but it looked like a possible Herb Duncan right there to the right of the screen. He bumped him, and then clearly that is interference, and first down here for Arizona.
Well, it can't be too sad. They traded touchdown for a 3-yard penalty. No. First and 10 at the 8-yard line. Cooper in motion left. More than likely, this is a free play as they jump off sides. Schexnayder cuts back to the middle of the field, almost breaks the tackle. And a young man who's been very busy in the first half has been Tracy Perkins, who seems to be in on about every tackle.
Perkins there basically giving a little bit of room and then coming up making the tackle. That's one thing you'll see from a lot of teams in arena football, keeping everything in front of you.
Offside, 32 defense, decline, second down.
Ivan Caesar is a player that they have moved from the linebacker position. They moved him down because of his quickness to the defensive end position. They feel that he can get in there and maybe apply a little bit more pressure on Cedric Bonner. But here's a guy that is accustomed to playing the MAC linebacker, but they're going to put him down for tonight's game.
On 1-on-1, ready?
Well, thus far, Tampa has 5 hurries on Bonner, but as yet have not sacked him. He's now 6 for 7, thrown to 4 different receivers. Schexnayder in motion left. Bonner's going to try to go deep to Duncan, who can't get there, and a flag is going to go down. Once again, Worthman says, I'm not going to give up the touchdown.
Boy, that's a questionable call, in my opinion. Worthman possibly holding just a hair at the end with it looked like the right hand as Duncan snuck behind him. Worthman comes in, he has a few plays and a couple penalties.
30 defense, 8 yards, automatic first down.
Well, let's also make the point here that Herb Duncan does a great job maybe of acting at the end, not unlike some international soccer players.
Yeah, that is tough. Yeah, that is a tough call, and the big key is Tony Jones gets around Easter on the blitz and really lowers the boom right there on Bonner to make him force himself to have to throw the football a little bit before he wanted to.
4 penalties now for the Tampa Bay Storm in 20 yards. As you can see,
both teams really have not gotten into sync quite yet offensively. And we expected really a shootout tonight. Now there's some points on the board, but
hey, this is you.
Cedric Bonner has some weapons to get the ball to.
Well, I think you made a good point earlier, and that was regarding the fact they may not be in sync offensively, but certainly defensively they're doing some things to bother one another, and that likely is what happens when you're playing a game of this magnitude. First and 10 just outside the 23-yard line. Bonner has Schexnayder on the up, who makes the adjustment. What a catch! Great coverage, but he is able to jump over the top of Tracy Perkins and make an outstanding catch. The man known as Shakes.
Now we saw it a little bit earlier in the game when Hunky Cooper tried to come back for a football and his hands got on the back of a defensive back and they called him for offensive interference. Here they go to the fade route. Bonner just puts it up and over the shoulder. Right there, he does a great job of keeping his hands off of Perkins' back and goes up, high balls it, and makes the catch.
Now, there's a case if you're Perkins, if you can think about it, you might want to do that thing where you thrust forward and look like you're pushed, knowing that you can't get to the ball, and maybe you can get away with it. We're on for the extra point because you saw Perkins beefing about it in the end zone, but that man, Schexnayder, coming up with a terrific catch.
Hello, welcome to Jiffy Lube. We're running a fantastic buy one, get one free special that I know you're going to love. For a limited time, buy one Jiffy Lube signature service oil change featuring Pennzoil motor oil, and the next one's free. You pay nothing, zip nada. That's a premium oil and filter change, tire pressure check, car interior vacuum. Shucks will even clean your exterior window. That's our 17-point service for free when you buy one signature service featuring Pennzoil. Again, buy one, get one free. How's that sound? Oh, you got talent.
Stop in for your buy one, get one free signature service featuring Pennzoil.
For you, it's always been about sport bikes. Put your passion to work with training from Motorcycle Mechanics Institute. Get hands-on training working with today's high-tech bikes while learning from experienced pros. Honda, Suzuki, Yamaha, BMW, Kawasaki, and Harley-Davidson. MMI's strong industry alliances mean you can choose specialized training from your favorite manufacturer.
It's important that the people working on the motorcycles are trained. Not only trained to be a motorcycle mechanic, but trained as a factory technician, which MMI offers. I walk away from MMI with confidence, knowing that I can actually work on bikes.
You can complete your training in about a year, and all MMI grads receive graduate employment assistance. Get the technical training you need at MMI's spacious facilities in Orlando, Florida, or Phoenix, Arizona. Be in demand as a motorcycle technician and get paid for doing what you love. Call MMI now to start training for your new career. Dream it, learn it, live it.
Tracy Perkins actually in pretty good coverage, but Schexnayder makes an outstanding play. Remember earlier, he was the guy that got run over on the screen pass. He's been involved in a lot of tackles, and he's a man that Coach Markham pointed out was playing some outstanding football throughout the season without getting the publicity.
Well, he had great coverage. He had great position. That was really the key as a defensive back and man-to-man coverage. You got to get good position, and he was there. Just a great play by Schexnayder.
LaFrance makes the catch and is going to go out of bounds just outside the 10-yard line. Apparently it was just inside the 10-yard line. Well, Tampa Bay will set up.
Over you, Jeff.
Nearly 3 minutes remaining. Clock running, you can see. LaFrance in motion left. Gruden steps back, crossing route to Workman, who is knocked out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
Once Gruden rolls a little bit off to the left, you have Mao coming on a blitz, coming right across there. Ball is just perfectly thrown. Henry Milton, and a big hit there by Herb Duncan coming over, but enough for the first down by Tampa Bay.
The thing that caught my attention is his particular delivery. I mean, that delivery threw for 70 touchdown passes during the regular season. That's amazing.
Kind of has that Danny Warfel look to him.
It does. LaFrance in motion left. Got the ball to the fullback, Tony Jones, who cuts upfield, shaking things out a little bit, trying to be a little bit unpredictable. First time they've thrown to the back tonight. It's a big play.
I think Tony Jones was expecting a hit when he caught the football. As soon as he catches his football, watch him just, he looks upfield, he kind of, and then all of a sudden he realizes there's nobody on the outside. He picks up a big gain for Tampa Bay.
Well, Tracy Mao is now in at the linebacker position, somebody who hasn't played all game long. He had to cover the tight end. I think this is one of the adjustments they're making to the constant blitzing of Easter. LaFrance in motion, 1st and 10 at about the 13. Gruden gets him the ball on the crossing route. He's in for the touchdown. Now down by 8 points, I would figure that they're going to go for 2 here, wouldn't you?
And that's the delivery I think the Tampa Bay Storm fans are more familiar with from Jay Gruden. Here, he really drops back with a great deal of confidence. LaFrance on one of his favorite routes down inside this area, the crossing route. Ball is thrown right on the money with a lot of velocity. Jay Gruden starting to feel good.
Let's go right load, 82, you call it. On 2, ready?
Heard him say, you call it. You're going to probably see a little bit of an option route here with the receiver. He'll give Jay Gruden a signal as to what play he's going to go with.
Timeout is called on the field. We're at the 1-minute warning. Now, interesting with regards to that call, we need to make a point here, and that is that the series before, they wanted to make all these adjustments to get Stevie Thomas in motion. They altered what it is they wanted to do. This series, they said, hey, forget that. We'll use Stevie Thomas as a decoy, and it was effective getting the ball to some other people.
They've also now, they're starting to get more people in the game from a skill standpoint. Lawrence Samuels is in there along with Worthman to go with Stevie Thomas and LaFrance and Lonnie Turner.
Here it comes, 2-point conversion. Gruden rolls right, and there it is. You decide. Can't hold on. Pretty good throw on the part of Gruden. But they can't hold on to the 2-point conversion, and so they go away down by a deuce.
Nitro, Zach, Gemini, the American Gladiators, ready for battle, versus the Challengers, fighting for victory.
What a competitor!
2 powerful forces clash in contests of strength and agility.
Oh, look at that!
Only the strongest survives. The legendary American Gladiators. Weeknights 7 Eastern, 10 Pacific, and weekend mornings at 9 on ESPN Classic.
That's right, men, you've earned it. This should be the best time of your life, and it can be with Vasamine. Male virility and performance is all about maintaining healthy blood flow. Vasamine brings new meaning to the phrase, feeling the flow, for men every day. Vasamine is a once-daily tablet with clinically tested ingredients that help improve virility, stamina, and performance. It's easy to use and non-prescription. Call today and get your risk-free 60-day trial of Vasamine, and we'll give you an additional 30-day supply absolutely free. Call in the next 15 minutes and receive a free month supply of Maxiderm, the #1 topical male performance formula on the market, as well as other free gifts. With Vasamine, you can always be ready to go with the flow and be the guy she can count on whenever a few private moments become the right time. Call today and get your risk-free 60-day trial of Vasamine, and we'll give you an additional 30-day supply absolutely free. You've earned it. Feel the flow with Vasamine.
Welcome back to Thunderdome in St. Petersburg, Florida, where the Arizona Rattlers lead the Tampa Bay Storm by a count of 24-22. Kirk Herbstreit along with Todd Christensen and now head coach Tim Markham. Coach, one of the things that you have to be concerned with is the protection of your quarterback. That was a real struggle that you had in the first half.
They got to Jay a couple of times, and we were unsuccessful. And, we've just got to do a better job. We've got to do a better job of getting to him. That's the main thing. It's going to be a heck of a game. It's going to be one of those down to the fourth quarter things.
Coach Kirk Herbstreit, a question about your adjustments you guys made as the first half really continued on. Did it seem to do a better job protecting Jay and also finding the open man?
I think that's it. They're mixing their coverages up a little bit. We're not getting off the bump. Hopefully we'll do a better job this second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks a lot.
Statistics in the second half. Penalties are not as consequential. The turnovers by the Storm, of course, only led to the one field goal. And so the total yards would seem to indicate a close game, and that's exactly what we have. Are you surprised at how few yards there are?
Well, I think the thing that sticks out to me are the turnovers by Tampa Bay, yet they're right here. They're only 2 points down. The numbers are down in the first half. Jay Gruden obviously not real happy. He has felt some serious pain in the first half, which is nothing new to Jay, but numbers are down. The turnovers that surprise me.
Hunky Cooper is not able to make a clean catch, so he's not going to be able to get out of the end zone.
You can see him really protecting that ankle. No reason to push anything when he didn't have a chance for a big return.
Cedric Bonner outstanding in the first half. You see there 10 of 11, 143 yards. Of course, Gruden with the 3 touchdown tosses, but 2 interceptions.
Hang in there, Jay. Still got a second half here.
Yeah, he looks real nervous, doesn't he?
On 2-on-2, ready?
First and 10 at the 5-yard line. Schexnayder in motion left. Sits down in the hook pattern. He is hit as he throws, and Stevie Thomas is going to get the gift interception for a touchdown. Cedric McKinnon came on with a big rush and got right in the face of Bonner. The ball was a pop-up, and Stevie Thomas takes it in for the touchdown.
Todd, credit that entire play to Cedric McKinnon to the left of your screen, coming on a blitz. Nobody picks him up. Confusion on the offensive line. He gets in the face of Bonner. The ball is deflected right into the hands of Stevie Thomas. The easiest play Thomas has had to make all night. That man right there made the play, Cedric McKinnon.
I don't know what Larry Boyd, the guard, was thinking in that particular situation, because when his man went outside, he left him for Bo Kelly to pick up, which he did, but that means he's got to come back and get McKinnon, which he did not.
Anytime you see confusion like that, you have a number of different protections in there. The fullback or the guard should have picked him up.
Simon Devia's conversion is good. And what a surprise with the first play of the second half. Tampa Bay up 5.
Left here. Morning, gentlemen. So how'd the testing go? Well, low-quality discount gasolines can leave behind engine gunk. Hate engine gunk. I know you do. Well, Shell stop gunky buildup to help engines perform at their best.
Still won't turn right, huh?
Not gonna happen.
Traffic ahead.
Incredible. You found a golf course near the conference. Awesome Chinese. Now you find me a way around traffic.
Market Street exit.
You're right. We'll just keep it professional, you know?
Go everywhere, find everything. Ball hard for the new Wear 2 GPS at Avis.
All right, go through the door. Go. All right, to the left.
You look like you're really into this. You guys want a real challenge?
As a soldier in the United States Army, you'll find out what you're really made of and how far you can go. Explore over 150 careers, help pay for college, and learn if you qualify for an enlistment bonus. Call 1-888-395-ARMY now for a free copy of the America's Army game and this new interactive DVD. Hear what it's like to be a soldier from real soldiers.
You ready to take this to the next level?
Call now to find out how you too can become Army Strong.
Between my 2 phone bills, it's probably about $60 a month.
About $150.
Probably
$100 a month.
With Vonage, it's just $24.99 a month for unlimited local and long distance. Call now and get 1 month free, including free calls to the U.S., Canada, Puerto Rico, and Europe. And all the cool features you could ever want are included. Over 20 in all. That's a savings of up to 50% on your phone bill.
Call 1-800-866-0798.
Stevie Thomas, the man of the hour, with a gigantic assist from his fullback, linebacker Cedric McKinnon. Cooper makes this catch this time, and he cuts up. He's got a left return. Now he cuts back against the grain and runs right into the arms of Lynn Rowland. Out to the 15-yard line. Pretty decent return.
Absolutely has to be the best, and you want to spend less time with confidence in the Golden Knights.
See, the Tampa Bay defense there has knocked down 3 balls, hurried him in 6 cases, and of course that was a big hurry there, forcing the interception. Just as you had pointed out, that Bonner had done so well without the interception, the costly one.
You see the knockdowns and the hurries, yet Bonner's put up some good numbers with the exception of the previous play. Very important for Arizona, coming out as your first play in the first half, throwing that interception for a touchdown. You have to really get things going here on this second drive.
Calvin Schexnayder in motion left. Bonner gets him the ball on the crossing route, and he breaks the tackle, and he cuts up the field, but he's out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Breaks the tackle of Tracy Perkins. That's a great piece of running, cutting back against where he originally started.
Well, Arizona has 3 dynamic wide receivers. Calvin Schexnayder has led them all season long. Coming across after the motion, he is very, very dangerous. You have 3 different receivers. Gatewood is a big receiver who can go into really into traffic and make the catch. This man right here, Calvin Schexnayder, is really extremely quick and fast, and also has the ability to go deep. And then you have Hunky Cooper, but Schexnayder tonight has really been their guy.
During the season, he was well over 1,000 yards on his 82 catches, 19 touchdowns to lead the Arizona Rattlers in that category. He's in motion left. Flags are down. Willie Wyatt is very unhappy about something. But this will still go against it.
Encroachment, 55 defense with contact, 3-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 7.
That's why he's mad right there.
Well, he's mad because he thinks somebody is moving before the snap, trying to entice him off.
He probably thinks that the center, Zach Ricks, is possibly moving the football. A lot of times, nose guard, anytime they jump, maybe that's the case, and especially when he's arguing like that.
Well, if he was going to do it, he would have done it by now, I would guess, not at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. 1st and 7 for the Rattlers, just inside the 15-yard line. Schexnayder in motion left again. Bonner throws the ball underneath to Ash on the crossing pattern, but McKinnon right with him and bats it down.
Cedric McKinnon missed the last 5 games of the regular season. He came back last week to help this ball club on both sides of the ball. He is very, very valuable on defense. Right away, recognizing that Ash is coming out, gets the right hand in, and Bonner kind of went to the sidearm delivery there to get the football, squeeze it in there to Ash. It looked like a good play, but out of nowhere, Cedric McKinnon, the MAC linebacker there, to bat it away.
19, X out. On 2-on-2, ready? 19, X out.
X out is what you heard. Let me also say, in fairness to Ash, that ball was thrown behind him. Schexnayder in motion left. There's the out. He makes the catch. Breaks 1 tackle. Still keeps going. Great effort on the part of Schexnayder. He ran right through the tackle of Tracy Sanders to get inside the 10-yard line, down to the 9 to set out the 3rd and 2.
Yeah, Schexnayder showing some great strength there. I mean, once it's a routine route, just coming out on the out cut. Now watch these defensive backs take a few shots at him. They're ripping at the football. He's 6 foot, 195 pounds, taking on Sanders and Tracy Perkins like it's no big deal. Also, Stevie Thomas coming in there.
5 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown now for Schexnayder. So come up 3rd and 2. Pitch to Bo Kelly, who cuts back to the outside. Wow, that was a nice piece of running. because of the narrow structure of this field, you don't see running backs do that very often. Usually they go in one direction.
Watch Bo Kelly set up the block of Calvin Chexner into the inside, back out. He gets Johnny Harris, and now he's out to the outside and has a running lane. Todd, you mentioned it's very difficult to establish that in this game. They went to the wide side. Bo Kelly is a tremendous runner and really has a good feel for the end zone once they get inside the 10-yard line.
And Herb Duncan put a pretty good block on Tracy Perkins downfield as well. So once again, first and goal at about the 2-yard line.
That's loose. Pitch 38 tag on 101. Ready? 38, 38. What?
See if they go to Kelly here or if they use him as a lead blocker.
They pitch him to the narrow side of the field, which I don't understand, frankly. And neither does Lynn Rowland, but he's grateful.
Rowland saying, boy, it almost looked like they were shifting that way, kind of slanting towards the boundary, maybe the secondary coming up to the wide side.
Slant out wing arrow.
Very rarely do you see him try to run a sweep into the boundary, trying to go away from the strength of the formation.
Slant out wing arrow is what we heard from the sidelines, and so you're going to see a quick throw here.
Enough of this running. Arizona's going to try and see if they can throw it inside the 5. This is tough to score in here.
Cooper in motion left.
Thank you, Will.
And Willie Wyatt decides, okay, we won't even debate about it this time. I'll whack him right off.
You hear Bonner say, thanks, Willie. You can actually hear him say, thanks, Willie. He does a great job of mixing up the cadence, and the importance here is the offense has to stay, they cannot move. They have to stay stationary.
Encroachment. 55 defense, half the distance. It remains second down.
Well, as we pointed out, it's an absolutely huge difference between being on the 5 or being on the 2.5. Now they're in a position to where maybe they can run the ball up the middle again.
It's a possibility, but with the success with Cedric McKinnon filling that void in the inside of the A-gap, they've had a hard time of really being productive running the football.
Well, I'm thinking run, but let's hear it.
Right. Look for the fake. Right. Dive 32. On one. Ready? Look for the fake.
They're determined to really establish this run inside this 2-yard line mark.
Oh! It was the fake. What a nice catch by Cooper.
I think he did. He may have done that on his own.
Well, just before he called that, I heard the fake vaguely. But, of course, Cooper wide open there in the end zone. Makes a nice catch on the soft ball. As we pointed out, Hunky Cooper, not a big factor up to this point.
I tell you what, I wonder if Bonner had a read there, and reading as he, almost like a triple option, looking at the defender, the guy across from Hunky Cooper, to recognize if he came down on the bite of the play action, and if he did, then throw the ball out to Hunky Cooper. If so, a tremendous play there by Cedric Bonner to recognize that.
Only the second catch of the game for Hunky Cooper as Weir comes on for the conversion. And it's good. So the Rattlers retake the lead 31-29 thanks to that man with the 2 bad wheels.
What if your entire business could learn to minimize risks? Well, off the course anyway, because change happens. Zurich.
Guess who just saved $380 on a new digital camcorder? Yep, Bob just discovered ubid.com, where anyone can save up to 70% on brand name home electronics, computers, and more. And only UBID backs every purchase with a 100% fraud-free auction guarantee. So you can bid safe and save big, like Fred here, who just saved $725 on a new high-definition flat-screen plasma TV. And Mike, who saved $88 on a brand new MP3 player. What are you waiting for? Go to UBID right now. You bid, you buy, you save, you celebrate. It's UBID Euphoria. Catch it now at UBID. Save big, save safe. You'll save big on brand name items. UBID's the safest place to bid and save.
Log on to 72.ubidtv.com.
Just 2 plays earlier, Coach Tim Markham was able to draw the defensive line offsides with a hard count. Are you surprised that on 4th and 1.5 they didn't do it again?
Yeah, you wonder if it was Jay Gruden or Tim Markham as far as who it's up to on the cadence. Arizona's defense. Look at the 9 hurries and 2 knockdowns, and they've gotten to Jay Gruden 1 time with the sack.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line for Bonner. On the slant route to Schexnayder. And Tracy Sanders had what appeared to be a gift interception, but couldn't hang on, and the flag is down.
Illegal formation, offense.
My guess is they're going to refuse that one. There seemed to be a bit of a miscommunication there on the part of Schexnayder.
Boy, it's ball right into the hands. Kind of caught Tracy Sanders off guard a little bit. The ball just jumped on him, but it landed right on his hip.
But after that play was over, if you notice, Cedric Bonner went all the way down the field to mention to Schexnayder he did not run the right route.
50, X post, wing sideline. On 3, ready?
See Randy Gatewood here if he can get out. He also has an option to go to Calvin Schexnayder coming around on the motion.
Bonner steps up. He has Schexnayder completely across. Oh, did he get in? Well, it looked to me from my vantage point that should have been a touchdown. He crossed the goal line, and boy, did he take a shot up against the boards.
Looked like the left foot was very, very close to getting in there. Bonner taking a hit. Looks like might be an ankle. Kind of flexing his ankle, maybe an Achilles. Big play there for Arizona, but right now Calvin Schexnayder is down after the catch. He went into the boards pretty hard.
Wow.
Tampa Bay going to come with some pressure, kind of reading and reacting Tony Jones. Schexnayder avoiding it. Looks like somebody rolls up on the ankle. Ball is thrown right on the money. And I don't think the ball crossed the plane. I think that's a good call by the official, placing it on the 1-yard line. Calvin Schexnayder is up and appears to be okay.
Well, that's good news because that was some kind of collision. Thank goodness that wall was padded. Not only that, Schexnayder's neck bowed in a very uncomfortable position, but as you pointed out, thank goodness for the resilience of youth.
Well, thank goodness for Cedric Bonner being okay. You'd hate to see him after the night he has had tonight. You can see him grimacing a little bit of pain. Good job of protection here. He needs a lot of time because Calvin Schexnayder's route's going to take some time. Look at him step into the pocket. Perfectly done. Right there, Tony Jones rolls up on his ankle. And I think Cedric Bonner is going to be okay.
Well, now something to point out here that was pointed out to us by Coach Danny White is that
guy 41
is that Brian Easter is in the game. And the reason that they have him at fullback is because he's a better linebacker. He's not the ball carrier that Kelly is. They just got it off and it's fumbled because they're in a big hurry. Fortunately for them, Bonner is able to recover, but with the play clock going down like this and on the verge of a touchdown, I'm surprised he didn't call timeout. That was very costly.
Boy, I'm not only surprised about that. I'm surprised that either Tracy Mao is not in there. Now he is checking into the game, or Bo Kelly. These are the 2 guys that are more comfortable. And this is a very, very difficult situation to score inside the 2-yard line.
Offside, number 3 defense. Half the distance, the remaining first down.
Well, they really got a break there with the offsides call because you saw the play clock getting down and Bonner in a hurry to get the ball off, and being in the big hurry almost coughs the ball up, and as you pointed out, they got Easter out right away.
Listen. Let's go left trip. We're going to go quarterback sneak. On first down, ready?
And all they put it good.
Well, he's not taking any chances. No. I think after that, he might be a little gun shy with the handoff, so he's going to do it himself. Ooh. He got it across the plane. Good call by the official. Bonner sneaks it in. That's the advantage of being 6'4".
Yeah, big quarterback. Chance he just picks the side and goes. And the only thing leading with the football like that, a little bit dangerous. You're trying to get the ball across the plane, but right there, Ivan Caesar almost with the shoulder pad knocked that ball loose. And as a quarterback, you have to secure the football on the sneak rather than just trying to get the ball across the plane.
If Caesar would have had his head up instead of down. Yeah, exactly. Dangerous. That's a fumble. You're right. Ware on for the extra point, which now is a fairly significant one as we get deeper into the game to put them up by 9. And he does. And so the Tampa Bay Storm is going to have to get something going to get this crowd back in this game. Bonner sneak puts the Rattlers up by 9.
ESPN Classics, putting your weekends over the top with Classic Weekend Marathons. Every weekend, Classic picks one sport. Touchdown! And gives you a full day of Classic action. From shooting stars to classic cars, 10 pins to last-second wins.
I don't believe it!
Believe it. Every weekend, ESPN Classic ups the ante with Classic Weekend Marathons. This weekend, The Sweet Science. It's a non-heavyweight boxing marathon. Saturday at 1, only on ESPN Classic.
Hey, these guys joined my team and lost weight.
Mike Golick, 51 pounds. Sean Salisbury, 35 pounds.
Scott Conover, 100 pounds.
Hey, Marino, I lost 32 pounds.
Get real results with Nutrisystem for Men.
You know, my wife told me I'm not as disgusting to her as I used to be.
Call or go online now to get 4 weeks of awesome food. Plus, through this special offer, you'll also get an extra week of hearty meals free.
Burgers, pizzas, lasagna, pot roast.
Eat like a man and still lose weight.
Our secret is the breakthrough science of the glycemic advantage that separates good carbs from bad. Now carbs are no longer off limits.
Nutrisystem worked for me. Trust me, it'll work for you.
About $10 a day gets you 4 full weeks of rib-sticking meals.
Pick up the phone and lose weight.
Order our 4-week men's program and get an extra 7 breakfasts, lunches, dinners, and desserts. A full week of food and a $70 value absolutely free. So call now.
Arizona Rattlers up 38-29 over the Tampa Bay Storm. Just a little bit earlier, Cedric Bonner went to the sidelines, and Easter, who doesn't get that many opportunities to score, is complaining to him, wanted to know what happened. Why did they get the ball?
That's how you win football games right there. Not only you get turnovers, but you create yourself an opportunity to score points, and you take advantage. You capitalize. 17 points tonight already for Arizona off turnovers.
Bonner struggled early here in the third quarter with the interception, but now seems to have his rhythm back. A flag goes down on the kick. Yes. As it goes completely through the end zone. It would appear that the Rattlers were offsides, and so they will tack on the 3 yards to the touchback.
Important to realize Tampa Bay last week playing a game against Anaheim.
25, 3 yards. It'll be first down on the 8. Go.
Not a good statistic there at the end with the 3 INTs. Gruden back, flushed out of the pocket. He airs it out deep. He's got LaFrance. Touchdown. Jay Gruden, certainly not the prettiest quarterback, as we have pointed out time and time again. Nonetheless, does a great job of buying time and delivering the goods.
Good job of protecting him. I was getting ready to make the point that last week Tampa Bay was struggling. All of a sudden, the fourth quarter came alive. So they're not in uncharted waters. Good fake to the outside. He turns Milton Vaughn around, and then Jay Gruden leads him upfield for the big score for Tampa Bay. Gruden, he's going to get some pressure from Tracy Mao. Jones picks up the blitz, slide. Look at him slide to the left, keeps his vision downfield, and then finds a wide-open George LaFrance as he puts the ball right over his shoulder for 6.
Simidavia on for the conversion, and he misses this one too. 2 misses tonight for Simidavia, but not missing much is George LaFrance. 5 catches, 96 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
As this game continues on, that's something that I'm sure the Storm are hoping that they don't lose by a point or 2, because missed extra points can be costly. Now they are down 3 points in this football game.
Well, you know, early on, one thing that I've learned in broadcasting these arena games is to not get too caught up in that early in the game. But as you pointed out, it adds up. And so now, instead of a field goal possibly winning the game for them later on in the fourth quarter, it would only tie. Yeah, and both teams, I mentioned Tampa Bay and the way they were able to really take advantage of the fourth quarter against Anaheim last week. And you also saw Arizona in a tough battle against Orlando, where they had to come alive in the fourth quarter to put that game away. So both teams are coming off weeks where they played particularly well in the fourth period, and I'm sure that'll come into play here tonight as we get ready another 5 seconds for the fourth quarter. Danny White having a conversation with Calvin Schexnayder. Remember earlier they had a kick that ricocheted off the net, but Schexnayder had to recover. Hunky Cooper struggling a little bit, and so now they have Henry Milton back there to return this kick.
At this point, you know, Todd, at this point, I think it's important for Arizona, even though they have the lead, not to play protective and conservative. They have to go out there and continue to play with this same attitude. Continue to play, you know, let everything happen. And where we saw the option route there for Cedric Bonner, you don't want to get too worried about, geez, we have the lead and we're playing on the road here, a chance to get back to the Arena Bowl. You've got to continue to play in the same fashion as they played all evening long.
Now, Danny White has changed his mind. He has taken Henry Milton out and put Hunky Cooper back. He just wants to make sure of the catch. He's not necessarily worried about a long run back. Cooper plays it off the left screen, cuts to the middle, and he is going to go down right in the arms of Antoine Worthman, who stops him at the 2-yard line.
Hunky Cooper really looking to be about 70–75% effective tonight.
Wait, it looked to me like he just ran right into it.
You got to admire him for the gutty performance of just being out here. But as far as they have some other players that can make plays, Herb Duncan has had a chance to step up as well.
If you haven't been with us, we remind you that Cooper has a broken bone in the left foot and a 3rd-degree sprain of the right ankle. So he is really gutting it out. Well, that's the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score, Arizona Rattlers 38, Tampa Bay Storm 35.
Hello, welcome to Jiffy Lube. We're running a fantastic buy one, get one free special that I know you're going to love. For a limited time, buy one Jiffy Lube signature service oil change featuring Pennzoil motor oil, and the next one's free. You pay nothing, zip nada. That's a premium oil and filter change, tire pressure check, car interior vacuum. Shucks will even clean your exterior window. That's our 17-point service for free when you buy one signature service featuring Pennzoil. Again, buy one, get one free. How's that sound? Oh, you got talent.
Stop in for your buy one, get one free signature service featuring Pennzoil.
The IRS threatened to seize my car, my boat, and my business. I didn't know where to turn, so my accountant recommended Power Tax Relief.
Thousands of law-abiding Americans have turned to Power Tax Relief. Honest people just like you, whose circumstances left them owing more taxes than they could pay. Like the Myers family, who owed the IRS $40,000 from illness and family emergencies.
With Power Tax Relief, we paid only a portion of what we owed the IRS.
And they saved our house.
You can bet the IRS will have lawyers working on your case. Don't take a chance without your own legal help.
I was so worried I was going to lose my practice, but the team from Power Tax Relief, they got me a second chance.
Look, you have a limited window to negotiate with the IRS and settle your debt for less. This could be your last chance. Play it right with Power Tax Relief.
Owe over $10,000 in taxes? Settle with the IRS for less.
Call 800-761-1645. That's 800-761-1645.
Welcome back to Thunderdome. Todd Christensen along with Kirk Herbstreit. You see the score by quarters. And you know the numbers that stand out to me are the 13-9. That looks a little awkward. You're used to seeing divisors of 7.
Sure.
And so as you pointed out, Kirk, the missed extra points loom large at this point.
The missed extra points, but beware here in the 4th period. Both teams really come alive in this 4th period. And Arizona will have the opportunity first, although they are deep in their own territory.
Duncan in motion right, and he gets pulverized on the hook route. He can't hold on. Tracy Sanders comes up to make the catch.
Nice safe route, just trying to get the ball outside of the holder in. Duncan needs to sell a little bit more than he's coming off the line of scrimmage in order to get a little more of a cushion from Tracy Sanders.
And it's obvious that he does not have the same timing with Bonner that Schexnayder, Cooper, and Gatewood do.
And Duncan's a great receiver, but he's not quite the threat of a Schexnayder or Randy Gatewood or a Hunky Cooper, so Sanders can cheat up a little bit more.
See, the total yards just about dead even, but in the 3rd quarter, Arizona had almost twice as much in terms of time of possession. Schexnayder on their up route, but the ball is overthrown. Good coverage on the part of Tracy Perkins, and I'm surprised there, 2nd and 10, that you're going to do that. I thought they would have gone back with another hook route or a shorter route.
It was good coverage here. Schexnayder just trying to get down the field with great speed, but look at Tracy Perkins run step for step with him. And one thing, Cedric Bonner would like to have that football, maybe hold on to it just a split second more to give his wide receiver, Calvin Schexnayder, time to get downfield.
3rd down efficiency has been a struggle for Arizona. Cedric Bonner in the first half, 10 for 11. Here since then, he is 4 for 9.
Big play here in the game.
They can't decide who's in motion, and both people are moving, so he's got to use a timeout.
Look at Danny. He is not happy.
The crowd is back in the game, as you can hear. Danny White calling the X-slant out here on 3rd and 10 with Duncan. Gets the ball to Hunky Cooper. Can he break the tackle? He can't. Johnny Harris with a big tackle at the 8-yard line, preventing Cooper from getting the first down. And now they will come up 4th and about 4.
We've been alluding to Johnny Harris all evening long as far as his ability to come up and make a play. He came up and just lowered his shoulder on Cooper, but again, Cooper very tentative on that cut after making the catch.
You can see, you can read the lips of Markham saying, don't be offsides, because Arizona has decided here they don't want to give it up. They think Tampa's going to score regardless, so they're going to go for it here on 4th and 4.
More confusion, more confusion.
Cooper in motion, a flag goes down. It's going to be a delay of game, I believe.
Arizona has not picked good times when to have a lot of confusion. It always seems to be on a big, big down.
Delay of game, offense, 3 yards.
Wax right. Wing back, 54 hook. Wax right, wing back, 54 hook, X post. On 2-on-2, ready?
You heard the X post. Maybe you take a chance here. 4th and long, catch him off guard to the bottom of your screen. Calvin Schexnayder, possibly on a deep post route.
Bad snap. Bonner able to get it up. Can he make the throw? No, it's batted down. Danny White, a very courageous coach. But here's a situation where he is definitely going to be second-guessed, not coming up with it on 4th down.
I think Danny White's thinking is, a lot of times Arizona defense, they're going to allow you to move inside the 10-yard line anyway. Why not take a chance here to complete a big, big 4th down? Bonner just did not secure the football. You have to, once you take the snap, you've got to put that ball away, seat the football, and he left it out there. The ball got knocked away. Really, at that point, he was lucky to come up with the football, and if he could have looked downfield, and at that point, it's tough to do, he did have an open Calvin Schexnayder.
The France in motion here on 1st and goal. Gruden rolls right, gets the ball out in the flat. Easy catch and touchdown for Tracy Perkins. Well, if the idea was to preserve time, that's what he's doing. Danny White, that is, as he gives up the easy touchdown here.
LaFrance basically a decoy there coming up the middle of the field, attracting a great deal of defenders from Arizona, leaving Perkins all by himself out in the flat. Nobody to cover.
Simon DeVilla on for what has not been a given by any stretch, and once again he hooks it left. And so now Arizona can tie with a field goal.
Wow.
3 missed extra points for George Simon DeVilla. Will it come back to haunt him? We'll see.
Tonight on ESPN Classic, at 8, a super bantamweight title bout between Oscar Larios and Israel Vasquez. At 9, stack your chips. It's the 2005 World Series of Poker. And at 10, who's #1 counts down the gutsiest performances. It's all tonight on ESPN Classic. It's back.
Oh, look at that!
The legendary American Gladiators, weeknight 7 Eastern, 10 Pacific on ESPN Classic. ESPN Classic is opening up the boxing vault.
Right. Oh, the right hand behind the jab.
Now with rarely seen fights, featuring some of the biggest names in boxing. Golden Boy De La Hoya, Real Deal Holyfield, Sweet Pea Whitaker. From one classic knockout to the next.
That's it. It's all over. It's all over.
Classic Night at the Fights, 8 p.m. weeknights, only on ESPN Classic.
I couldn't believe how much I was paying for health insurance before, but Mega specializes in affordable health insurance for families and for people like me who don't get health insurance where we work.
Stop struggling to figure out how you get affordable health insurance. If you're one of 45 million Americans without it,
Call the number on your screen right now to get affordable health insurance with the Mega Life and Health Insurance Company.
I was struggling to find affordable health insurance for my family. What appealed to me about Mega is that I could tailor a plan that fit our needs, as well as our budget.
Now, I'm responsible for providing health insurance for my family. I worked hard, and I deserve a company that works hard for me. Mega, they saved me time and money. They got the coverage I needed at the price I could afford.
Mega has been America's solution for affordable health insurance for over 20 years. To get a plan that's tailored to fit your needs, call the number on the screen right now.
Do what we did. Call today.
Hunky Cooper on the return gets out to the 8-yard line, where Arizona will set up now down by 3 with 11:30 remaining in the fourth quarter.
You know, it was a matter of time till Tampa Bay would come on with a big flurry. Now it's up to Arizona to try and survive this flurry and not to get down. Plenty of football left to be played in this football game, and only down 3. You've got to, he's really got to be wondering at this point, 2 of 5 on extra points.
Did you notice that he had the hand up? He's saying enough already. He's had enough of everybody coming up and telling him it's okay, it's okay. Give it a rest. Duncan in motion left, 1st and 10. Ball comes out to him, but he can't hold on once again. Trying to run before he has the football.
Late hit, looks like on Cedric Bonner.
And if that's the case, that's a bad mistake on the part of the Tampa Bay defense.
I think Terry Buford got in there a little bit late.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 58. 8 yards, bring the spot, 1st down.
It wasn't 58, it was 57, as you pointed out, it was Terry Buford.
Bonner, once he throws the ball, boom, takes the shot. A little bit questionable, but you gotta love to see him take care of those quarterbacks.
Wait. A little bit questionable. You of all people, he hits him, rolls him around, and spikes him.
Well, the timing of it.
Oh, I see.
The timing of it. You're right. The quarterbacks can take those hits. You gotta watch the time.
8th penalty for Tampa Bay, and take a look at that graphic. The one loss that they had, by the way, was the end of the season against San Jose, when a win meant nothing. Bonner with plenty of time, airs it out deep for Duncan. Good coverage, but he makes the catch. Tracy Perkins with him step for step, but Duncan able to jump over the top of him for the touchdown.
Unbelievable the way Duncan goes up for this ball. The good thing about this for her, Duncan, is that Bonner has all night to throw the football. Once he gets back into the pocket, he's going to be flushed out, buying a little bit more time. Look at the arm strength there by Bonner, getting it up and over Perkins and Duncan. Great concentration in making that catch. His 3rd of the night, 53 yards, and that's a 34-yard touchdown for the Arizona Rattlers.
Stealing a little bit from Alfred Papuno with the drink. Perkins, a beleaguered man tonight. That's twice now that somebody has used their vertical to get over the top of him. Now Weir with a pretty crucial extra point. He hits his. And so that enables the Rattlers to have a 4-point lead. Up 45-41.
Unexpected room of evil. Red beer! Drink responsibly.
Morning, gentlemen. Morning. So how'd the testing go? Well, low-quality discount gasoline's gonna leave behind engine gunk. Hate engine gunk. I know you do. Well, Shell stopped gunky buildup to help engines perform at their best. Still won't turn right, huh? Not gonna happen.
What are you being charged for internet service?
I don't know, maybe $24?
$23.90. What are you being charged for internet service?
$10.95.
$10.95. Millions are discovering the real value of People PC online. Go to peoplepc.com now to try us free for 30 days. You get unlimited internet access for only $10.95 a month. People PC Online has a smart dialer with more local access numbers than AOL for faster, more reliable connections. You even get security tools to help protect you from spam, pop-ups, and email viruses. And you can continue to use your favorite instant messenger. Compare us side by side with your current ISP. Go to peoplepc.com and start saving today. So the next time you're asked how much you pay, proudly declare
$10.95.
Go online or call 1-800-727-6717. People PC Online, a better way to internet.
There was a philosopher who once said the purpose of life was to maximize your emotional income. In arena football, the ebb and flow is absolutely amazing. Danny White goes from having his head down, boy, what did I do this, go for it on 4th down at the 5-yard line. Now suddenly a long touchdown pass to Herb Duncan. He's a genius again.
Right, he's a genius for right now. Tampa Bay's getting ready to get the football back. Still a lot of time in his football game. But the thing that I'm amazed at the way Arizona on the road, very easy for them to just kind of call quits, but they regrouped and came back with a touchdown.
Weir's kick goes out of bounds. And so the penalty will set up Tampa in great field position out at the 20-yard line.
Ball was kicked out of bounds in the air. Goes to the 20. First down.
Go! 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. 9.5 minutes remaining in the game. Stevie Thomas in motion. They get the ball underneath to LaFrance, and he gets a block, and he might go. Stevie Thomas, 2 receivers in the vicinity, and Stevie Thomas heads up enough to pick off 2 defenders, enabling LaFrance to cut across the grain and get his 4th touchdown of the evening.
You talk about execution. This is exactly what Tampa Bay wanted on this play. You see, at this point, LaFrance makes the catch, but he's looking for that block. This is not by accident that Stevie Thomas is sitting outside there to pick up the 2 defenders. Perfectly designed play. That's the way you draw it up on a chalkboard. And Tampa Bay counters Arizona. We've been going back and forth here in the 4th period.
And a peculiar hush falls over the crowd as Sima Devia does get this one, and he gets the loud mock cheer to put the Storm up by 3. George LaFrance is one of those people who they probably should keep the category of yak. You know, that yards after the catch?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing I think, look at the pump fake by Gruden. He knew exactly where he wanted to go. As I said, Thomas is outside, right by the numbers, just waiting. As Steve Douglas came, Henry Milton got through, but Milton Vaughn was picked up as well by the block by Stevie Thomas. Perfectly executed. You don't see that very often. You can practice it all you want in practice, but to do it in the game is another thing.
Cooper makes the catch off the net. Has a bit of an opening, follows his blocker out across the midfield, rolls off of Sima Devia down to the 15-yard line.
What ankle? What ankle?
The thing that we saw there is that he may not have had the quickness and the foot speed, but he used his power, and great blocking on the part of Arizona.
It's been a long night for George Sima Devia. He tries to make a tackle. Cooper, even with the injured ankle, goes right over the top of him, but to the credit of the kicker, he did hold on to it.
X-corner, wing slant out, wide cross.
Cooper did not have the explosion, Todd, as you mentioned, but you can see the heart of Hunky Cooper will not be denied.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Cooper in motion left. Flag goes down. Bonner on the corner out to Cooper. He can't quite hang on. Johnny Harris comes in at the last minute to break it up on a ball that was just a little bit underthrown.
Illegal formation, shaving. The nose guard, 77, 3 yards. It'll be 1st and 7.
Kent Wells appears to be a little bit off-center, coming up right there. They got him just off to the left of the center. Lance Johnson. Ball was, as you mentioned, just a hair underthrown. It was thrown on time. But Johnny Harris deserves some credit tonight. He's playing with a banged-up hand. He had a big game last week for Tampa Bay, and as a player back there in the secondary, he's a big player. He's 6'2", 210 pounds out of Mississippi State, and he's got some good quickness.
1st and 7 now. Bonner on the slant route to Gatewood, but the coverage is right there in the middle of the field, and Bonner actually fortunate that that was overthrown. There were an awful lot of blue shirts that could have picked that one off.
I'll make it so close.
Yeah,
that was close.
You had Cooper coming to the outside there. Gatewood, who's been relatively quiet in the 2nd half, cutting across the middle. Nobody really open. He just threw it away. 1st half, he was unbelievable. 2nd half, he 2 touchdowns, but you can see that he's not been as accurate, and that's because Tampa Bay's been putting on some pretty good pressure on top of.
Stay up on him on the backside. Right. Liz. 12X slant out. A one-on-one. Ready?
X slant out, remember, was the play that they called on 4th down. He's got Cooper on the out and up, and he overthrows him, and Johnny Harris was with him step for step. He wanted to get Cooper the ball on the out route, but Harris wouldn't allow it, so he cuts up the field, but Harris would have none of it.
Harris all over him. Great man-to-man coverage there, all across by Tampa Bay. Yeah, Cooper streaking, goes on a little chair route, shows to the outside. Harris knows exactly where he's going, just waiting for him, shielding him away from that football, putting Arizona now in a 3rd and long situation.
For young defensive backs, pay attention to what he did, which was that he stared at the eyes. He didn't turn around and lose track of where the ball could possibly be. 3rd down conversions have not been good for Arizona here on 3rd and 7 as he goes with the fade route to Gatewood, but once again a miscommunication. He had exactly what he wanted, but Gatewood did not run the route. You saw Bonner go with his hands to his head, wanting to know what the deal was.
It's 19. It's 19. No, I'm just saying it's a team though.
What he's trying to tell him, and you would know this as a quarterback, he had the outside. He had the outside, so that's automatic. If that's what you're going to do is go to the fade.
Well, he had a free release to get to the outside, and that's what he wanted to try and put the ball.
You don't have to work him on a team pass, only on 50.
He's still trying to make sure Randy Gatewood has it. Ever the leader, Cedric Bonner.
So now Weir will attempt a 27-yard field goal. Snap and hold her down. And the kick is good. And so after the 41-yard return by Hunky Cooper, the Tampa Bay Storm defense stiffens. They hold them to a field goal.
Traffic ahead.
Incredible. You found a golf course near the conference. Awesome Chinese. Now you find me a way around traffic. I love you.
Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming around. Take Market Street exit.
You're right. We'll just keep it professional, you know?
Go everywhere, find everything. Fall hard for the new Wear 2 GPS at Avis.
Today is the best day of your life.
If you're interested in starting a legitimate home-based business, the Work at Home Institute may be the answer.
Honey, we really do need this addition to the house.
Yes, but at these prices, we're going to have to save for years.
You could turn your life around by logging on right now. The service is free. We provide you legitimate work-at-home opportunities plus extensive information about the work-at-home industry, its laws, regulations, and expansive benefits that could change your life.
You know, Dave's got a great job, but there never seems to be enough money. And with 3 kids, I don't think we can afford college.
Oh, have you ever thought of working from home? You should see this website Dan found.
Don't wait. Log on now. Earn extra money. Be your own boss. Set your own schedule and spend more time with the ones you love. Whether it's money for college education, credit card debt, or just the freedom to live your life the way you've always dreamed of, make today the best day of your life.
Log on to 14thewahi.com now.
Todd Christensen along with Kirk Herbstreit here at Thunderdome in St. Petersburg, Florida, all knotted up at 48. Cedric Bonner not a very happy man. He assumed that he had the communication with Gatewood on the fade, but he did not. Gave a little tongue lashing to Gatewood on the sidelines. LaFrance plays it off the net, juking a little in the middle of the field before he goes down at the 6-yard line.
Getting close to the 5-minute mark now. The 4th quarter, this is when it comes down to the team that's going to make the fewer mistakes is going to end up winning this football game. It's not too bad. Last 3 passes, 3 touchdowns, 77 yards.
That's about as good as it gets is what I'd say.
Let's go right load. 62 S flat. On 2, ready? 62 S flat.
Tampa Bay's defense has really been Jay Gruden's best friend. They put him in pretty good position in the second half.
LaFrance in motion left. Gruden gets the ball out in the flat to Tony Jones, who breaks the tackle and runs over some people, getting out of bounds just across the 20-yard line.
Well, that's one way you slow down a blitz. Easter, 24, leaning in, showing that he may come. This time coming to the outside on Jones, but because Easter is so aware of blitzing all the time on Jay Gruden, now he has another thing to think about, and that's the fullback, Tony Jones, or Cedric McKinnon out in the flat. That's Jones' 2nd catch on the night.
He took Steve Douglas for a little bit of a ride, getting some extra yardage. LaFrance in motion left, and Gruden gets him the ball as he hooks up Once again, there's Stevie Thomas with the block out front. But LaFrance is tackled just short of the first down. Milton on the tackle.
Same play, works to the right. Might as well try it to the left. He had LaFrance on about the 5-yard curl route. He had Thomas to the outside by the numbers, setting up the block. This time, LaFrance couldn't quite get to the boundary.
Left rip, 60 Poco. On 2, ready?
Give the post to the post corner here. Give the option to the receiver, depending on what kind of coverage he gets, will dictate his route.
LaFrance in motion right on second and very short. Gets chucked at the line of scrimmage, but able to get away from it and make the catch. What a great adjustment by LaFrance. He was hammered about 5 yards downfield by Steve Douglas in the secondary, but still able to get away from him and make the catch. What a throw by Gruden.
Leadership ability right now. Jake Gruden is really stepping up. Here, he gave the Pogo call, which gives George LaFrance the opportunity to go to the corner or to the post. He opts for the post because of the outside leverage by Steve Douglas. Ball's thrown right on the money. Touchdown, Jake Gruden starting to get into a groove. George LaFrance has had a pretty good night tonight.
Simidivian for the extra point. And this one he gets. George LaFrance, 8 catches, 155 yards, and 5 touchdowns. This one right here puts them up by 7.
Hello, welcome to Jiffy Lube. We're running a fantastic buy one, get one free special that I know you're going to love. For limited time, buy one Jiffy Lube signature service oil change featuring Pennzoil motor oil, and the next one's free. You pay nothing, zip nada. That's a premium oil and filter change, tire pressure check, car interior vacuum. Chucks will even clean your exterior window. That's our 17-point service for free when you buy one signature service featuring Pennzoil. Again, buy one, get one free. How's that sound? Oh, you got talent.
Stop in for your buy one, get one free signature service featuring Pennzoil.
This was a handyman special. I designed and renovated the whole thing.
Tommy, you're late for dinner.
Coming, Mom!
With Punch, the world's #1 home design software, just about anyone can tackle home projects like a pro.
We've always wanted an outside deck.
And agreeing on our plan before bidding out the contractor saved us 30%.
Punch instantly creates a 3-dimensional drawing from your sketches. Add windows, doors, and everything else. Then take a virtual tour. Even watch your landscaping grow from any angle. Punch Home Design comes with materials estimating and cost calculators. Plus, you can visualize and print your project in 2D and 3D. Call now and try Punch Professional Home Design Platinum Edition risk-free for only $9.95 shipping and handling. Plus, get these free professional floor plans and the materials workshop to create or import patterns or textures into your designs. If you're not satisfied, return the software within 30 days, but keep the floor plans. Call now.
Well, that TD has meant Gruden to LaFrance. 5 times they have hooked up. That 5 touchdown receptions ties the playoff record previously set by Eddie Brown. And that man, Jake Gruden, fantastic. 6 for his last 6, 121 yards and 4 touchdowns. Ricochets off. The recovery is made by Milton, but it's going to be a touchback.
Last time Arizona was faced in a situation like this, backs against the wall, they found Herb Duncan for a big touchdown. Let's see if they can do it again.
Go. And X, he's a wing. Wax right, Y back, Lives 12, wing slant. Wax right, Y back, Lives 12, wing slant out on 101. Ready?
First and 10 at the 5-yard line, running out of time. Just barely gets it off before the play. Flags go down. Hunky Cooper makes the catch. Out of bounds at the 9-yard line. I'm sorry, something came in front of my face. It looked like a flag.
Again, Bonner has a different delivery, it seems, for depending on the ball there. Again, coming from the side to get it out there quick.
Middle to tight end.
You heard him say, look for the tight end. Let's listen in.
Right wide flip, X back. Laser screen middle to the tight end on 101. Ready?
Yeah, they're going to try and get the ball to Richard Ash.
Laser.
Raise that hand. Bonner says you have to declare if you're the tight end. Richard Ash.
Second and 6. Schexnayder in motion right. There's Ash. But Stevie Thomas is able to get him down. He does get the first down. But if Stevie Thomas doesn't make that tackle, that's a much bigger game.
Richard Ash there really needed to wait on the blocking to get in front of him. There's little traffic here. He turns, looks for the football. Now Boyd goes down. Larry Boyd, there's Zach Ricks. Nobody's in front to block for him, allowing Stevie Thomas to prevent Richard Ash from picking up the first down. It'll be third and very, very short. It looked like he did have the first.
Yeah, you saw his left foot go out of bounds, and so he did not cross the 15-yard line. Now it's third. And actually less than one. Schexnayder in motion right. Got him. Bonner's got him deep, but Schexnayder can't hold on. And so now down to the 1-minute warning. It's all or nothing, fourth and very short. Interesting decision that's going to be made here.
You know, when we talk with Danny White, he loves third and short to go deep. If you're scouting Arizona, this is the time to look for them to really air it out. Even though Wyatt got pressure on Bonner, he's all alone. Calvin Schexnayder will be the first one to tell you he's got to secure the football, go up there and make that catch, and then lower his head to prevent the big hit.
Now, as somebody who used to catch a ball or two, what I saw that Schexnayder did there is he didn't continue to run. He decided just to stop and jump. If he continues to run, it's an easy catch. You can see in the last minute, this is what's going to happen. The clock will stop, not unlike the collegiate rules. Fourth down and 1. Gives it to Tracy Mao, who's going to get the first down out to the 18-yard line. Boy, great job by the offensive line creating a hole for Mao.
Boy, that's how you run the football in between the tight end and the tackle. And the thing they did a nice job of is just clearing it out. They've struggled inside the 5-yard line doing this, but look at Ricks. He opens it up. It's one-on-one there with McKinnon and Mao. Mao lowers the shoulder and picks it up.
Nice block by Larry Boyd, who actually got 2 of the storm there. Clock running down to 40 seconds.
He's got a freebie. Go for it.
He's got Duncan, and Duncan cannot hold on. Tracy Sanders came across his face, but I'm not sure that Sanders got a piece of that.
I think he realized again that because of the cadence, he had a chance to look downfield. He wanted Schexnayder to go downfield. Oh, that's close. That looks like Duncan should have just come on, just held on to the football.
3-yard penalty. It'll be first and 7.
Maybe Sanders' hand coming across got in the way, but didn't look like the hand touched the ball.
Left. Wing loop. Calvin, come down. Okay, tight. Rip 12. Look, the quick look over the middle, right? 12. Wing slant out. One-on-one. Ready? Back.
Maybe want to try and get the ball to Hunky Cooper in some open room, right in across the middle as one of his options, or Calvin Schexnayder.
First and 7, just outside the 20. There he is. He's got Schexnayder in the flat. Schexnayder will go out of bounds at about somewhere between the 17 and 18-yard line. So now with 28 seconds left, this bodes the question, if Arizona scores, do they go for 2?
I think boy, we have to wait till we get there and see how the momentum of the game's going. Clear out here for Schexnayder. They got Cooper and Duncan to cross over to the left, leaving Calvin Schexnayder all to himself off to the right flat.
Wing loop, 50, wing corner, that slant out wide purpose. On one-on-one, ready?
He's got corners and posts here, so it would appear he wants to go to the end zone right away.
Surprising, considering there's 2 timeouts to go. He'll have an outlet as well to go along with the deep routes.
Cooper in motion left. Throws a slant across the middle, and once again right into the arms of Tracy Sanders. Cedric Bonner so very lucky to get that one back.
Oh my gosh. Tracy Sanders is coming back from some injuries. He played last week, and on a crossing route, this receiver's coming across at full speed. Sanders looking at Herb Duncan, didn't even recognize the football was coming at him. As a defensive back, you really need to look up, and it's really a tough thing. You have to be able to recognize the receiver and the quarterback when the ball's released.
Rocks right, wing back. Liz 10. On one-on-one, ready? Hard.
He's going back to the underneath route, it would appear. Cooper in motion there. He's got the hook route. Cooper able to come up, but he's not touched down. And so he's able to roll forward just inside the 10-yard line. And that will stop the clock, and I believe Arizona has called a timeout.
It looked like the play clock had gone off. I thought it was just at 0. Look at that short delivery. Real low, almost underhanding that football. to get it to Hunky Cooper. And they are saying that he was down, that he was touched, so they'll mark the ball at the 10-yard line.
18 seconds remaining. Cooper in motion. Got plenty of time. He lays out. He can't come up with it, but a flag is down.
I think they may have gotten Larry Boyd here. An offensive holding, trying to protect his quarterback, Cedric Bonner.
Now this makes for an interesting decision here because you probably want it to come up 4th down.
Offensive holding with a takedown. 68. 8-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
Are you surprised here that they took the penalty?
Well, it gives them another down. The clock becomes an issue as well.
Left X loop. 59 X sideline.
Weak sideline.
X sideline would seem to indicate.
59 wing sideline on 2-on-2. Ready?
Trying to get the ball upfield and out of bounds, considering the timeout situation for Arizona.
He's out the fade to Duncan. Does he? He does! What a catch! Once again, Duncan jumping over the defender for the touchdown. What a gutsy throw on the part of Cedric Bonner. Supposed to be a sideline route, and now the decision by Danny White. Does he go for 2 or does he go for the tie?
First of all, the catch is unbelievable by Duncan. He's 6'1", 190, going right over top of Johnny Harris. It's 6'2", 210, and there's Tracy Sanders in there too. Unbelievable the way Duncan has really times his leaps tonight. 4 catches, 71 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Stop. Try to get him offsides. They don't jump offsides. Just let the play clock run out. Okay?
You heard what the strategy was right there. They want to see if they can draw them off sides because they feel that they can punch it in from the 1-yard line. And if they don't draw them off sides, they're going to call timeout.
10 on 10, ready? Don't snap it. Let's go, let's go.
As a quarterback, you want to make sure they leave that huddle realizing not to move. Boy, that's upsetting for Danny White. You get out of the huddle, you want to have at least 10 seconds on the line of scrimmage as a quarterback, barking out the cadence. By the time they got to the line of scrimmage, they were already at 2 seconds, forcing Cedric Bonner to call the timeout.
Well, now Arizona with no timeouts cannot afford the luxury of doing this, so Danny White might want to think about running a play on, say, 4 or 5, a different count. But I have to ask you here, do you like what Danny White's doing? Is he right going for the win?
Watch right next loop. If the corner stays over there, let the clock run out. Let's take it.
Again, giving Cedric Bonner the option, feeling very confident Troy Weir can make the kick. He's talking about the corner.
46, right? Watch right, that's loop. Pitch 38 slip. All right, stop, all right? On one, ready?
You asked me if I like the call. I love the call, going for it. This is what it's all about. The season's on the line.
Unbelievable percentage on 2-point conversions. Schexnayder in motion left. And they pitch to Keller. I don't understand that play. He needs to get rid of it, and he can't. He is dropped by Sylvester Bembry, and I just do not understand that call, Kurt. A 2-point play. The entire season on the line in the semifinals to get to the Arena Bowl championship, and you go with the running play. I can't believe it.
Very surprising, and again, going into the motion. Now is a big play. The onside kick. Can Arizona recover this kick is very, very crucial. Will determine the game.
The ball jumps high. And just for a second, it appeared that Duncan was going to have it, but Antoine Worthman is able to pull it away from him. Tampa Bay recovers.
And with no timeouts remaining for the Rattlers, Tampa Bay just needs to take one snap, get some positive yards, and this game is over, and Tampa Bay will be returning to the Arena Bowl.
Well, Danny White is going to be spending the offseason second-guessing himself there. He has the second-rated quarterback in the league, 3 receivers with over 15 touchdowns apiece, and instead the ball goes to Bo Kelly.
You have to admire him, though. Personally, I admire the play calling on the road. Why send it into overtime? A great chance, great drive they had. I admire Danny White for that call.
Does he get the yard? Evidently not, and so the clock stops. Arizona thus far this year, every time they had scored 50 points, had won. This would appear to be the first time that they will lose while scoring 50 points.
Just back up when they come to you.
You hear that? Forget the positive yardage stuff. Just take the snap, back up, and take a knee. There's 3 seconds remaining. Why even take a chance getting into all that traffic?
On 2, raise your hand. Go!
And so Jay Gruden does exactly what he's asked. He runs the clock out, throws the ball into the stands, a gift for some fan.
Almost got that. Almost got it.
What an exciting game. What an exciting game. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Yo, big ups. It is time for another go-round of Stump the Schwab. I'm Stuart Scott, chilling in the research room for a meeting of the sports minds. It's the show where contestants who think they've got skills basically just get straight schooled by the man who's always sitting at the head of the class, the Schwab. Schwab is straight up, man. I mean, you scare people in the research room. You do realize that, right? I mean, can you try to be a little less intimidating?
I take this stuff very seriously. I'll tell you what, if the contestants don't and they don't like it, go backstage, get a pedicure.